The moment I read her message, I didn't shout. I didn't call. I typed 2 words, smiled, and quietly began dismantling the life she thought she was coming home to. My name is Marcus. And until that Saturday morning, I believed 8 years of marriage meant something to both of us. Then a single text from my wife, Claire, shattered that belief completely. Heading out with Derek for a few days, last-minute thing. Don't stress. Derek wasn't a coworker or a childhood friend. He was the man she dated before me, the one she swore was permanently in her past. I read those words 4 times. Then I set my phone face down on the counter, took a slow breath, and typed back 3 words. Enjoy the trip. She responded with a simple thumbs up. She had no idea that my calm reply wasn't forgiveness. It was a starting gun. I sat at that kitchen table for a long time after the screen went dark. The house around me was perfectly still, but inside my head, something had finally clicked into place. Every unexplained late evening, every hushed phone call she took in another room, every time she laughed at a message and tilted the screen away from me, none of it had been coincidence. I wasn't furious. Fury burns itself out. What I felt instead was something far more dangerous to her assumptions. I felt completely certain. If Claire had already decided where her loyalty lived, then I owed it to myself to make an equally clear decision. And I wasn't going to waste a single afternoon waiting by the window wondering. I called my attorney first. Calm voice, clear facts, straightforward questions. Then I contacted my bank and legally separated my personal savings into a new account. Every step was deliberate. Every action was documented. This wasn't impulsive. This was architecture. I was building the foundation of a future she hadn't been invited into. Then I walked through every room of our house. Wedding photographs lined the hallway walls. Frozen smiles from a day when promises still meant everything. I took each one down carefully and placed them in a box. Not violently, not bitterly, just honestly. Removing her pictures wasn't anger. It was finally telling myself the truth. By the time the sun dropped below the roofline, the house looked completely transformed. And for the first time in longer than I could remember, I felt like I was standing on solid ground instead of sinking into someone else's excuses. The next morning, Claire's social media lit up. First came a photo beside a glassy mountain lake, her smile wide and completely relaxed. Hours later, a second image appeared. Derek sat beside her at an outdoor restaurant, 2 glasses raised toward the camera, both of them laughing like nothing in the world existed outside that table. The comments flooded in immediately. Heart emojis, messages from mutual friends asking where I was and whether everything was okay between us. I read every comment once and put my phone away. I didn't need to respond. The photographs were already speaking louder than anything I could have typed. While she was uploading memories, I was finishing preparations she couldn't see. Over the following 2 days, I packed Claire's belongings with the same care she had apparently never given our marriage. Her clothes were folded, her jewelry was sorted, even the photo albums she had always said meant everything to her were wrapped and labeled properly. This process had nothing to do with revenge. Packing her things carefully was the last respectful thing I could offer someone who had stopped respecting us. I also changed the locks after confirming with my attorney that doing so was fully within my legal rights. Before I slept that final night, I placed a sealed envelope on the entryway table. Inside were legal separation documents, a breakdown of our now separated finances, and a handwritten note with one sentence. You chose your direction. I have chosen mine. On the 3rd afternoon, a text arrived. Back around 6, can't wait to be home. Followed by a smiley face. She genuinely believed everything was exactly as she had left it. I didn't reply. Instead, I made one final walk through the house. Bare walls where our photographs had hung. Neatly stacked boxes labeled with her name. Her decorations packed away. The space no longer felt like our shared home. It felt like a cleared runway. Shortly after 6, I heard tires on the driveway. I watched through the front window as Claire stepped out carrying shopping bags and pulling her suitcase, still wearing that vacation smile. Derek helped unload, gave her a casual hug, then drove away. She unlocked the front door and walked inside with the same easy confidence she had left with 3 days ago. Then she stepped into the living room and stopped completely. The walls were bare. Her favorite chair was missing. Boxes with her name filled the far side of the room. The envelope sat waiting on the entryway table like a quiet verdict. The smile disappeared instantly.